Bună dimineața. This is Paul from Paul and Tammy with Backpacking and Brews. And this is day 32 on the Via Transilvanica. This is, let's see, the 4th of May. It is a Monday of 2026. It is the Monday following the Labor Day weekend that the Romanians celebrate. Although we didn't see a whole lot of signs of celebration, but who knows, no big deal. It's about a little after 8 in the morning, 40 some degrees. It's supposed to get up to 72 this afternoon, so much warmer temperatures today, hence the shorts and the hoodie. This fleece jacket will come off pretty soon. So we're just ascending out of the village of Lodroman, Lodroman. We had a great stay with that's Corina and Raul. They're the hosts at Casa din Vale. I'm not sure what it stands for, probably House in the Vale, maybe. A really cool place. Young couple with a young son that are building a place to house guests. And she served a breakfast and a dinner. Wonderful homemade soup. The cabbage rolls with pork, really so much food. Breakfast is cooked eggs, omelet, yogurt, and toast, and cheese, and marmalade, butter. Very nice. In total, it was 656 RON for the 2 meals, some beer, and the lodging. The lodging, they've got a little cabin that sits right on a pond that they built. Yeah, kind of incredible. And we're going up pretty steep here now. There's a sort of king-size bed in the bottom portion of that cabin, and the top has a double. Pretty cool accommodations. They also have a boat that sits on the pond. It's a pretty small pond, but the boat doesn't have a motor or anything like that, electronics. It's just meant to sleep guests. They also have room for people who want to set up a tent. Pretty cool accommodations. I'd say unique in what we've seen so far. Very comfortable. The cabin has its own little electric heater that served us well. Had TV, we didn't use that. Had good Wi-Fi. And they're very accommodating, very friendly. And really nice stay. They are doing all kinds of improvements as they have time and money to do, which is great for them. And apparently, Raul even said that the Eileen, the president of the NGO, and another person came and talked to them about hosting guests for the Via Transilvanica. So sort of some special attention from the founders of this trail, which is also kind of nice. But they're very accommodating for Via Transilvanica hikers, and super friendly. Well worth a stop. So here's the view up above Lodroman. Really beautiful. Another beautiful day. Boy, we're getting real fortunate with the weather of late. So we're headed to Blaj today, which is about a 13-mile trek. Not sure about the elevation gain. So a little shorter day than yesterday. Yesterday ended up being almost 16 miles. So we'll see how the day goes. So as you all know, if you've been watching any of our videos, we try and take shortcuts if we can. You know, it's the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. But some of these shortcuts that we attempt, if you want to try to make a beeline to the next place, or you want to skip a bend in a curve, are impossible to do because you've got sort of gnarly like bushes like these. So they're a little bit thicker than this sometimes, but you cannot get through these things unless you've got some kind of major weed whacker. So yeah, we like to do our beeline cuts, but sometimes just can't do it. So we are at kilometer stone 708, and we just have this glorious view on top of this ridge line. Presume these are the Carpathian Mountains that surround us. We've been told that they're kind of a U-shaped set of mountains, but just wonderful, wonderful views from atop this mountain pasture. And you can see off in the distance, we think there's rapeseed, the yellow fields. You can see some snow-capped mountains over there, another snow-capped mountain. So it's just beautiful view. We just passed kilometer stone 713, and we're hiking through this mature growth forest. There are signs of bears about, judging by the dugout stumps. Probably looking for carpenter ants or larvae or something like that. Anyway, we just ran into somebody from Brussels who was hiking the Via Transilvanica going the other direction. And he unfortunately lost a gray box that had a microphone and earphones in it. We're not sure. Lost along the trail, right, probably around 711, 712, between those areas. We looked for it for a little bit. He described it, and he said where he thought he might have lost it between, but we couldn't find it. Anyway, so yeah, there's another thru hiker. He started at the Danube, and he's heading to Putna. So there are a few of us out here still, or yet maybe more to come. But right now we're just walking this lovely sort of backwoods trail. Very nice, not muddy, it's dry. It's leaf covered, very soft, and we're out of the sun because it's going to be a hot day today. So this is just perfect hiking right now. It's about 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and we're at kilometer stone 718, and we're overlooking the village of what I think is called Manjarade, which is just short of where we're going tonight at Blaj. But another beautiful view from this high meadow. Gorgeous view, the countryside. Well, you can see the Carpathian Mountains in the background there, snow-capped. Hopefully you can see them. We'll pan back and zoom in again. The taller one's apparently right here. The tallest one over here is like 8,200 feet or 8,300 feet. And then these are like 6,000 over here. Got a bug on my foot, my leg, quit. Beautiful. We just passed kilometer stone 719. It was right at the entrance to this high mountain forest. Boy, nice break from being out in the sun. It's apparently only 62 degrees outside right now, but the sun is just beating down on us in that open space. So real nice to be in this, looks like a pretty, not a super mature tree forest, but maturer than some of the other ones we've seen. Very nice break. I'm not sure I mentioned this before, but we, as the day goes on, we kind of get curious to know, well, how much further do we have to go? And so what we've been doing is looking at primarily the Via Transilvanica. I mean, we have AllTrails that we use, but because we're using different routes that are marked in AllTrails. Oh, look at that, there's a whole bunch of dugout root or a stump, probably a bear looking for grubs or ant larvae or ants, who knows. But seeing a lot of signs like that, where it looks like some animal, probably a bear, has been digging out rotting stumps, tree stumps. Anyway, so yeah, we have AllTrails, but we're not following the routes that are in AllTrails necessarily. We might have a different starting point or a different end point. So the distances to go on there aren't all that helpful because sometimes we're going beyond where the route ended. So what we do instead is we bring up the Via Transilvanica app and we make sure we're in the right section and zoom in on that, and the GPS will show us where we are with that little blue dot, and then we just count the kilometer stones from where that blue dot is to where our destination is. And so, for example, right now we're about 7 kilometer stones from Blaj, our destination in Blaj. So we say, okay, 7 kilometers. So because we're American, we do the math and say, okay, 7 times 0.621. Whoa! What is that? What does that equal? And that's our miles. So anyway, that's our little trick for seeing how far we have to go. Of course, it doesn't help us with how much elevation we have left, but we do look at the profiles as well on there and on AllTrails if we have to look to see whether we're going to be going up or down. And usually we go up and we go down. Oh, dang. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but we have AllTrails, and we're pretty much every day, except for the days I've forgot or where I accidentally turned it off, we're using AllTrails and we're tracking it. We're basically using it as a tracking device in a way to sort of track our route from start to finish each day. And I'm uploading pictures, photos from the day that I think are relevant or might have some interest to others. And and I'm making all that public. So if you're looking for an AllTrails sort of, here's what we did, and you can see the distances we covered and the profile, and actually they have a pretty cool recap of the hike, and you can just look. So it's P, if you want to look for it, it's capital P ampersand capital T, so P and T apostrophe S, P and T's, and then sometimes Via Transilvanica is written out, sometimes it's just P and T's VT, capital V, capital T, and then day whatever. And so far we've got 30, this is day 32, I've got P and T's day 1 through 31 sitting there with a public view of what our route was for each of those days. And so tonight when we're finished, I'll upload, or I'll save our route along with some pictures, and I'm looking for the route here, and upload day 32s. So pretty cool the way that works, and the way you can keep track of your routes if you are so inclined. I see over here. So there's a lot of crisscrossing of trails, 4-wheel trails and the Via Transilvanica trail. Sometimes you can get confused, so you have to keep looking for those, the orange T with the orange circle around it and the white dot. Anyway, AllTrails if you're interested. Okay, just wanted to offer this tip for anybody interested in this long distance hike. The So, okay, so we've been on the trail 32 days, and my wife and I, we've been married 30, let's see, this is 2026, 32 years coming up here this summer. And you can imagine being married that long and with somebody on the trail for that long, you kind of run out of conversation. So fortunately, Tammy's uploaded, she's got some iTunes music, so she can listen to music, and it helps keep the bears away, right? And also, as long as you've got a SIM card for Romania, and as long as you have cell data access, you can also, listen to Sirius XM if you have that app, or, that you can listen to. You cannot listen to Pandora over here. I tried it in another country, I think Spain, I tried Pandora as well, and it doesn't, they don't have it in the country. So you can, or I'm not sure if they don't have it in the country, but they don't allow the use of it. I don't know if it's a copyright thing or what, but anyway, so you can't use Pandora. I don't know about iHeartRadio or one of the others, but you can't use that. But you can download a bunch of, I got spider web on my face. You can download music onto your phone, either the music app, and you can listen to music that way, or if you have an iTunes account, you can listen to that, I believe. As long as you have, I think you still need cell data access for that. But if you download them to your phone, which takes up a lot of space, you don't need cell data for that, which I've done before, but not for this trip. Oh, we just came out of the woods, as you can tell, and we've got another glorious view of the fields, the plowed fields and the meadows, for the pasture land, for the bunch of sheep down there. Not sure if you can see them. I think that's them right there. So pretty cool. And we're at kilometer stone 720, heading into Blaj. So we're still a few kilometers away from Blaj, but you can see there it is in the distance, and we hope to be there in maybe an hour or so. But still a nice day. We got our hoodies up because of the sun. It's still a hot one. Okay, talk to the expert. So as long as she has cell data access, and in here, I think it's mostly been 4G, she can stream iTunes. And when that's not working, if we don't have cell data access, she can play the songs that are downloaded to her phone. So there you have it. Well, we are coming into Blaj, and progress is being made here in Blaj. Looks like they're building a new highway. Spent a lot of time on it, and unfortunately the Via Transilvanica is walking right alongside of it. I'm thinking that the guys at Liesa Social are trying to figure out a new route, but this so far isn't horrible, but I imagine it's going to get worse as the highway gets built and then it's actually being used. But who knows? Could be years away. You never know how long these construction projects take.